welcome back to another episode. Today's topic is how to quit smoking cigarettes, basically. Alright, I'll teach you everything you need to know, and I'll give you some practices also on what you could do to quit smoking, and it's 100% beneficial for you. You'll be able to quit if you listen, and if you do what I tell you, you'll be able to quit, okay? 100%, 100%. But you have to observe me. You have to observe what I do, okay? It's important for you to also try this after the video, okay? I'll tell you later, okay? Alright, so basically, I have a cigarette. Alright? So basically, basically it smells like already like it's toxic, okay? I'm gonna light it up, okay? Look how I look when I smoke. Alright, so basically, I'll tell you this now. When I lit it up, what happened was this whole bunch of smoke that I could not breathe in. I could not breathe in the smoke straight away. That's a warning sign there. Alright, now look at this, if you can see. Look at the smoke. Just be aware of it. Be aware of it. It's burning. Look at the ash. Can you see the ash? Look at the ash. Look at that. And it's like lying, it's like full. The room is like filling up with smoke. Alright? So watch this now. So basically what I'm doing right now is just I'm observing myself smoking, okay? This is what I want you to observe. I want you to observe what I do and say, okay? So basically when I took a puff, when I put the smoke into my lungs, I felt my heart just like, oof, it hit me. It hit me. Kind of from within the heart, from like, so that's the heart, so at the back of it, just like something pulled like that, okay? So basically that happened. Alright. So now also, so I'm just being aware, okay? Taste is very yuck. The taste. I'm starting to get clogged, like all spit and everything is all coming together. Look at that. Smoke is all over my mouth, inside us. My breath is stinking on cigarettes. And it's going on my clothes as well. Alright. Just got an ashtray. Alright. I'm observing the way I feel when I'm having a cigarette. So I'm trying to be aware that I am having a cigarette. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what makes me want to smoke. Okay? what makes me love the toxic that I'm putting into into my lungs. Okay, so I'm just being aware with my mind. Okay, with my mind, I'm thinking about ways the cigarette is benefiting me as a person. Okay, so alright, right now my heart is just like it's hitting. Okay, honest. I feel a bit of shortness of breath. So I'm just trying to observe the smoke. If you smell the smoke coming out, you're gonna see it's like tire. It's like a tire. Someone's doing a burnout. If you smell the things coming out, the smoke. So basically, my spit is just coming together, and I need to spit somewhere. So I'm just gonna take it down. I have to clear my chest as well. Okay. So I'm being aware of the cigarette, and basically when I put the smoke out of my lungs, it was just like smoke coming out. That there was no effect. There was nothing, no effect at all. It was just smoke going into my lungs, and when it comes out, it's just like hey, it was just smoke coming out of my mouth. All right. So basically, when I take a drag, I pause for a second and I see how I feel about what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a bit dizzy in the head. And I'm a bit shaky, kind of. And it's like each drag that I take is just killing my self confidence and my self esteem. Okay. Right now, I'm thinking there's nothing special about a cigarette. So I just spit as well, clearing my chest. I feel like I feel like this cigarette's just like making me in a bad mood. And as you can see, when you smoke, usually when you smoke, you are trying to relax, kind of trying to relieve the stress. You know, you're trying to relieve some kind of stress that you have, and you think that cigarettes is the solution to it. Okay, so I'm almost done. Just a bit left. So I'm just being aware. Basically, I felt my throat before. It was just like something was going on there. Alright, so now I'm trying to see how I feel after a cigarette. a bit of pain. It's like I'm craving another one. It's like I'm craving another cigarette. Alright, so basically why I did that was I wanted to show you how smoking looks like. Okay? But obviously it doesn't look exactly like this because I am actually aware of it. Okay? But when you are not aware of smoking, you are just doing that automatically. You are just like smoking. You're not even thinking about it. You're picking up a cigarette, you're lighting it, and you're smoking it, and it's like you're doing other things. You're concentrating on other things. Maybe you're thinking. You have a smoke in your mouth, and you're replying on Facebook. You're thinking of other things except for that cigarette that you're having. And your mind's elsewhere. Okay, and the point in this is because the more you don't focus on the cigarette, the more you're going to want to smoke the cigarette. See how I'm spitting? I'm spitting. I'm clearing my throat. I feel my chest is a bit... It's alright, I can still breathe, but I feel my chest is like getting weaker each cigarette that I have. But when you are not focusing on the cigarette, okay, you are more likely to have, once you finish the smoke, you're more likely to have another one, okay? And when you start focusing on the cigarette, on what it's benefiting you with, so the more aware you are of how the smoke is affecting you personally, because you're being aware of the cigarette, you're being aware of the smell, and you're being aware of how it's affecting you as a person. Is your self-esteem going down? Is your confidence going down? What's it doing to your teeth? Do you feel any pain in your teeth? Can you breathe better? Are you getting dizzy? Are you having a bad taste in your mouth? These are the kind of things you realize once you have a cigarette and you're aware of it, okay? That's why I wanted to point this out. Because once you focus on the cigarette, the more you focus on each cigarette that you have, the more likely you're going to pick up behaviors that affect you, that the cigarette affects you as a person, that the cigarette affects you unhealthily, okay? Because you're aware of it, you're aware of what it's doing to you. But when you're not aware, when you're just smoking because you want to have a cigarette, but you're also doing other things, you're thinking about other stuff, and you're having a cigarette while you're doing that, So when you're thinking about other stuff, you're going to associate thinking about other stuff with having a cigarette. Okay? So basically, I also want to tell you some things for me personally. When I am smoking, when I get a craving for cigarette, alright, these are the times I crave a cigarette. When I'm just sat on my couch, I open up the laptop, and after a few minutes of connecting with someone, I feel the need to have a cigarette, okay? I feel the need to have a cigarette because I associated connecting with people before with having a cigarette, okay? Another one, when I wake up in the morning, I have a coffee, okay? I had coffee, I always had coffee with a cigarette, okay? So when I'm having a coffee in the morning, okay, I usually reach for a cigarette with the coffee. It's very strong. It's very strong. When I'm having a coffee, I need a cigarette. Because that feeling of having a coffee and having a cigarette is ingrained into my mind, okay? Also, when my dad is around, I see his image and I associate him with smoking. Every time I see him, I think smoke. Okay, because he's been a part of my life for most of my life. He's smoked for 25 years. Okay, that's how long he smoked in my whole life. Okay, and each time I see him, from the age of 15, I think of a cigarette. Okay. What else? Usually when I'm in a room by myself, okay, and I'm closed in a room, kind of thing, it makes me want to have a cigarette because I'm closed up. I'm by myself. I'm closed up. I feel restricted. I feel restricted in a room by myself. Okay, it's not that I feel lonely or anything. It's just that the room, the way the living room in my room, the way it's built, because I used to smoke there before. Because I used to smoke there before, I associate that room with smoking. So each time I walk into the room, I think about cigarettes. Okay? I'll tell you where I'm getting at. Also, for example, my dad, he smokes. There are cigarettes on the table. Okay? There are these things. These things on the table. Okay? Smokes on the table, packets, cigarettes everywhere. 12 packets of cigarettes that have no cigarettes in it are sitting down there next to, just so my dad can put cigarettes in those packets later on if he chucks a packet. Anyway, I associate that with smoking. So every time I see a cigarette pack in my house, or I see one of these, or an ashtray, or a lighter, even a lighter, I associate that with smoking. So then each time I see that, I automatically want to smoke because I see it, and it's like a temptation. Every time I see it, it's like, I'm thinking of a cigarette already, So what else? In this room, I used to smoke right here. I used to smoke sitting down there and listening to music with speakers and being on the laptop. So I associate this room with smoking also. Okay, even my bedroom, sometimes I smoked a few times in there, just a few, 3 times. But it's not that bad in the room. But I'm closed up. I'm closed up in my room. I've got, so that's another form of thinking about cigarettes. Okay. Also, I think about cigarettes when I'm quitting. When I've quit, I feel so bored. I feel bored. I feel like I have nothing to do. So then I associate boredom with smoking. Okay. Right? Also, when I'm in the car, because I smoke in the car, in my own car, I associate flicking the smoke out of the window and driving while I smoke. So every time I drive, I associate driving with smoking. Okay? So these are my temptation zones, okay? These are the things I have to avoid, okay? So some of the things I have to do is either be out of the house for a long period of time, maybe just come home when I need to sleep, okay? That's one. Another one could be go for a walk. I usually don't go for much walks, but I used to a lot. But walking every day is a new habit for me, okay? It's a new habit. Being out of the house all day long is a new habit for me, okay? What else? Drinking tea instead of coffee, okay? So if I have a tea, I won't associate having a tea or tea with honey. I won't associate that with having a smoke, okay? Because I'm having tea. Every time I have tea, I affirm to myself I'm having tea and I'm not smoking or having coffee, okay? So each time I drink tea, I strengthen myself to not smoke, okay? So what else? Each time I go for a walk, I'm strengthening the new habit, okay? What else? Also having a bath. When I have a bath, I don't smoke in the bathroom. So I could have a bath. That's a new habit. Okay? I could just randomly, when I'm craving a cigarette, going to have a shower instead. Okay? So I'm replacing old habits. So maybe in the old habit, I would have sat down on the laptop and had a smoke. But this time, I change it and I go and have a shower instead of sitting down on the couch and smoking and connecting. Okay? So another one could be taking yourself out. Taking yourself out. So instead of me being in my house all day, I take myself out. Instead of taking the car, I walk to the bus station. I take the bus and I go just 20 minutes up ahead to a city nearby. And I go walk around the shops, go buy myself a shirt or something, and then, you know, wherever it takes me after that, maybe even eat something later, you know. So that's a new habit, taking yourself out instead of being confined in a house. Okay, being in the moving, trying to move somewhere instead of sitting down, because when you sit down, that means you are ready for boredom. Okay. Also, when you are, for example, sitting down, for me, for example, if I'm sitting down now, you know, instead of having a cigarette and I'm sitting down next to a laptop, I'll put on an audiobook. That's a new habit I've formed over a couple of years. So because I usually don't associate audiobook listening with having a cigarette, because I'm usually laying down, or I'm having a walk, or I'm driving and I listen to audiobooks. Okay, so it gets my mind off a cigarette because I'm being productive by listening to something. Okay, what else? The TV is also some type of trigger for me personally, because I used to smoke and watch the TV. I see my dad smoking and watching the TV. Okay, so I turn off the TV. I don't watch it. Okay, that's a new habit. Straight away, that's a new habit. You turn off the TV. You've changed it. Okay, what else? Example, going for a coffee in a restaurant. That's a trigger for me. That's a big trigger for me. You know, instead of going for a coffee in a restaurant, why not take myself out for a massage? I go for a massage for 30-40 minutes. That's a new habit. I've never had, I rarely have massages ever. That will be a new habit. Instead of going to coffee 2 times, 3 times a week, maybe go massage 2 times a week, just so I can get over the cravings and also experience something different. Okay, something new would be going out to the city, to the aquarium. You know, something new, taking yourself out. You know, walking on the beach. You could do that. You know, just to get yourself out of the house, to get yourself moving. Okay, or going in the pool and swimming a bit. You know, hey, you know, swimming's cool. You know, you can stop at any time. You know, you don't have to go as hard. You know, just so you can get some sweat, detox. You know, all this kind of thing. Okay. Also, another thing for me, that's a new habit. When I quit smoking, I start eating more healthy. I automatically have soup. I have soup. I love soup with pepper. I put heaps of pepper. I put some chili. I put some garlic, you know, inside. Put a bit of salt, you know, and I drink it. You know, that's something new. So maybe have a soup in the morning when you wake up, you know, just to boost your energy levels. Okay. Also, drinking water is a new habit, isn't it? Drinking more water throughout the day. You know, we all need to drink more water in our daily intake. Okay, that's a new habit. So what I'm trying to explain to you, the more new habits that you can think of, that you can do to replace old habits. So if you see how I explained all my bad habits that I have, those are my temptation zones. So I have to get out of that. I have to get out of that and form something new into my life. Okay, something I can focus on different, you know. So for example, a new habit for me would be to go to leadership programs. That's something totally new for me. Meetups. There's an app called Meetup, and you connect with different people. You can go painting with different people. You can go for hikes with. You meet people on the spot. And you just like you connect with them, you know, and your mind's off smoking. You're with new people. They're not smoking either, you know, so they give you that influence that don't be a smoker, you know. So that's something to take into account, you know. So what I'm trying to say is, try to think of all the bad habits you have, all the bad habits, like temptation zones that get you into smoking. Okay, it could be, for example, going to work and on the break, you go outside and have a smoke at wherever, you know. Instead of having a smoke, why not drink some water and talk with your colleagues as a new habit, just something different, change it, you know, because if you don't change it, you're going to remain the same, okay? All right? So figure out what your temptation zones are, okay? Because when you do, then you're able to think of new habits or how you can act differently, or how you can avoid the temptation zones and form new positive habits into your daily life that's going to make you healthier, that's going to get your mind off smoking, okay? Okay, since I've told you that, I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you have a better idea on how to quit smoking, okay? Alright, what I want to show you now, for guys, okay, even for girls, but for me, especially for a guy, this is needed. And what this is a zinc, okay? So it's zinc sulfate, 100 milligram, okay? And then magnesium sulfate and absorbic acid, okay? So I'm not sure what absorbic acid does, but magnesium is good for energy levels, okay? It's especially good for having a better mood. And zinc has a load of benefits for a guy, okay? For a guy, what happens is when you have zinc, okay, it produces more sperm, okay? The more sperm you have, the much more confident and the much more energy you're going to have and motivation during your day. So this helps produce more sperm, zinc in particular, okay? It reduces prostate cancer, okay? But the main reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to have a better energy levels, so that in the future, I'm actually going to make a video on zinc levels later on, okay? On about more on zinc, okay? But if you want, for now, search it up on the internet, zinc benefits, and you're going to get a load of benefits on the internet. It's basically a supplement, okay? Instead of eating 100 seeds, who has time to eat 100 seeds in a day? You know, it takes up 30 minutes of your time. You know, you take one pill and that's already 100 seeds for you done already. You know, so it's completely natural. You know, you get you get zinc, okay, and it's gonna help benefit your health, your heart, your mind. You know, you're gonna feel more energetic. You're gonna have more testosterone. You know, you're gonna have a bigger sex drive, and you're gonna have more energy during the day, more libido and everything, okay? But this one I wanted to show you as well. It's Eniaka, I can't pronounce it, but it's garlic and zinc and vitamin C. Basically what this is it basically replenishes the body, detoxes it, okay? It builds your immune system so you can fight infectious diseases. So you fight cancer cells, okay, and you prevent heart disease. You prevent artery blocks, all this kind of stuff. It makes you it's an antitoxinant. Okay, it's an antitoxinant, so it detoxes your body. You know, it makes you healthier. Okay, and gives you a bit of energy. This one has 4 combinations in one pill. One pill looks like okay, so basically it's closed, but it's basically like that big. It's like a capsule. Okay, so the more you take this during the day, so search up on how much daily intake you need. Ask a chemist. What are the names? Pharmacist. Ask a pharmacist how much you need a day to have efficient level of energy and how to detox your body properly. Okay, and basically this one, which is don't get the exact same one because it's going to be hard to find, but maybe not. Basically get things that supplements that detox your body. Okay, so you can ask a pharmacist, look, I want vitamin C, zinc, garlic, and everything that detoxes the body so that I am able to have higher energy levels, completely natural, so I can feel better about myself, and so that I can heal faster and get over these cigarette cravings. Okay, so basically that's all I wanted to teach you for now. I'll be making a zinc supplement video in the next few videos. Okay, more information on that. It's very beneficial, zinc. I suggest search it up, zinc benefits. It's going to improve your life a lot, and I hope I've taught you how to quit smoking, because you have to figure out what your temptation zones are, so that you can replace those temptation zones with new habits, positive habits. Okay, and the more you do the positive habits, the more and the further you go through the days, so say you make it on day 4, you're going to have less cravings, and you're going to be implementing new type of habits. So something like going to the pools, going to the movies, getting yourself out of the house, moving somewhere, so walking, drinking water, going to the beach. You know, I'm sure you can think a lot more stuff that you do. Think about some new habits that you have formed recently. You know, do those kind of things. Go to leadership programs. Take a bath. Do some squats or something instead of sitting down. Don't get bored. Make sure you're always moving. Make sure you're moving. So make sure you're breathing properly. Even breathing, practicing meditation, practicing with the Gaya Mudra. You know, breathing, relaxing. You know, enjoying yourself. You know, practice some new habits. Form some new habits in your life so that you can replace the old habits with the new habits. Okay, that's how it's done in today's world. Okay. Alright, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I hope I've taught you something. Thank you very much for watching up to this point, and I hope to see you back soon. Thank you very much. See ya.